all my way to America. Hopefully no issue with the helmet. I don't think there will be, but find out soon enough. Too late to change course now, so see how it goes. I made it easily through the security. I didn't even take the helmet out. I was going to take it out like a laptop, but I just left it in there, coasted right through. Now I'm in this place called the Coral Lounge. Pretty good spread. It's a big place. The original terminal, Suvarnabhumi, like that a little better than the new one. All right, I'm going to eat, get on my flight. I'm going to have one more test with the helmet in Singapore here for 2 hours, go to America. On our way rapidly to the gate. We'll make it because they're taking us there, but it's a very close call. Yeah, there was all like 55 minutes to change, and we were like 30 minutes late, so there was no way. We are now in our second golf cart. Different set of gentlemen. Looking very golden out the window. All right. Pho restaurant right across our hotel. Entry Pho restaurant. Actually comes with a gigantic chicken from my soup. We're going to eat and then go to Berkeley. My helmet tipped over a couple times, hopefully no problem, but it was in its case at a little drop, so I think it'll be fine. I'm at UC Berkeley in Berkeley, California. I used to work here for 10 years actually. Trying to get a job at UC Berkeley, but that never worked out. But I did end up living in the Bay Area for about 20 years. Euclid Avenue, there's a campus down there. And those hills, which you can't quite see, is Berkeley Lab, where a lot of the Manhattan Project took place. I'm sure they're doing some interesting things with lasers now. Much more advanced laser helmet than I have, but I don't think I have access to that, so WeberBrain Pro will have to do. The 4 days I'm going to be driving a Tesla with full self-driving. Actually, it's supervised full self-driving, but someone with visual impairments like myself, that could be very helpful. Really help perfectly accentuate the areas that I'm lacking, because I do have a license and I can legally drive, but could use a little assistance. I'm going to be driving from Berkeley to San Luis Obispo, and taking stops along the way. Try to film some of that while I'm driving and my impressions of the car. And I'm about to try the self-driving Tesla. Here we go. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
All right, so we've been doing the self-driving almost the whole time. As you can see this right here, it's unreal. It feels like 100 years into the future. So far, I haven't had to do anything. One time I wanted to change lanes. So I touched the turn signal and that it changed a little early. It's only going to do that when it can do it safely. But yeah, this works very well, especially a person like me. I can legally drive. I can safely drive. Driven, no accidents. But it's nice to have a little extra helper. So this is great. Driving the Tesla, the old-fashioned style. No self-driving. It's been a while for both of us. How you like the one-pedal driving?
Oh, it's cool. I want to try the self-driving. So.
Top up, and then back on the road. Pinnacles National Park, less frequented park south of Monterey. Here I am. It's very hot, but very beautiful. Yep. Kind of feels like Indiana Jones in here. And if I had a scroll or a tablet, or some rolling boulder that will crush us.
Yeah, with full self-driving supervised on, the cabin camera monitors your attention, and you'll get escalating warnings if you look away too much or don't keep hands ready on the wheel. It advises avoiding touchscreen use while moving to stay safe. Use voice commands instead if needed.
Oh, never mind. The lights just came on, so that answered my question.
Your trip stops are Supercharger Gilroy at Wren's Lane, arriving in 6 minutes. Then Supercharger Gilroy at Camino Arroyo, arriving around 6:45. That's it for now.
Okay, self-driving.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Hearst Avenue.
Hopefully all goes well. Here we know. Anything to say?
Exciting.
All right, coming at you live at Stanford University. Self-driving adventure continues. Came here from Berkeley. Just take a look. Worked here for about 5 years. It's called the Stanford Oval. Yeah, the self-driving really works very well. This attention warning, and sometimes that'll get caught in what you might call a nagging, and it just keeps telling you to touch the wheel or show it that you're paying attention, and it can be hard. You only have like a few seconds to get rid of it. But I'm starting to get a little better at making that not activate, just kind of tugging the wheel every now and then and keeping my eyes in a certain position. But that's something you got to keep in mind. I'm sure at one point it'll be truly unsupervised, but it is definitely full self-driving supervised. And the software nags you. There's a camera in the main cabin, and that will definitely nag you if you stray even for more than a few seconds. They called Palm Drive down there. He used to live in Palo Alto for a little while. The way end of that road is downtown Palo Alto. One of the wealthiest people in the world come from here, though times have changed. Just want to lean a little bit more left. We'll see what the future holds, but still quite nice on this Thursday afternoon. Sculptures are by the famous sculptor Rodin. We see a beautiful mural when Michelangelo flew to Palo Alto and was commissioned to make this mural for Stanford University. That, of course, is a lie. Stanford came a long time after Michelangelo passed away, but this was probably inspired by the Sistine Chapel. Decided that now on, or if I need to rent a car, I'm going to rent the Tesla with full self-driving, which for now required Turo. So here on the Turo site, I have filtered the cars down to only Teslas. So with Turo, typically, there's not like a checkbox that you can search for full self-driving. It'll be in additional features or somewhere here. So you see here, full self-driving FSD, and you typically need to pay a little extra that you'll arrange with the owner of the car. It's not that complicated. It seems a little overwhelming at first, but they have this FSD feature. Typically, most Teslas, that's an optional feature. So far, I have only found Turo will have this option available for Teslas, and that is how I did it. I didn't rent from this particular person, but I did rent it from Turo, and that all worked out fine. Avis, Hertz, those guys, they don't let you have the full self-driving, and I understand that, because if you get a strike or 5 strikes, full self-driving shuts down for a week, so that it's a risk they probably don't want to take. No other ones, but yeah, I can drive without it, and I did for most of my life, but just having that just accentuates right where I need it. And then, of course, I can drive when I need to do that. So it's just so much safer. You know, I don't have eyes all the way around my head. I can't see hundreds of feet around me when the most optimal time to change lanes is. So until I actually own my own car, Tesla rental all the way. This really is extremely good pizza. Ever since the COVID, they have blocked off Castro Street. I've noticed this in a lot of cities. They made some changes to accommodate COVID and people like them, so they kept it. Happy to be back?
Yeah.
So it's here. Looks delicious, doesn't it? That's because it is. Here's my Berkeley Airbnb, and I just got my Vielight Intranasal laser device. Let's take a look. Traditional unboxing. You see here, that's the one, MIP 4358, and then a bunch of other numbers because it does multiple functions. Open this up. It has a nice little convenient carrying case right there. I'll read those instructions in a minute. Yeah, this is it. And there's the nasal adapters right here, different colors. I'll have to figure out exactly how those work. Probably take to the AI in just a minute. But yeah, very small little device with some big benefits. Let's give it a try. Very interesting bedspread on this Airbnb room. This device, the packaging and everything has been very sterile. You can see there's a safety seal here, which you might not typically see. You're going to be sticking this in your nose, so obviously you don't want anyone else to have done that before you. So these cables right here are the most tidy they will probably ever be, coming straight from the manufacturer. I'm going to spend a couple minutes reading how to actually use this device, and then planning to do it in conjunction with the helmet. So that should be a mega laser and LED power up. Of course, there's my trusty WeberBrain Pro helmet ready to go as soon as I figure out how to use this. Let's take a look at the logic here. And you see here this red MIP 633, and the red is the color of the laser. The tip is actually yellow. And you can see here, right there, that one has a yellow tip. And then you kind of follow the line down here. The yellow one, 633, that's the wavelength, and plug it in here. And you can use multiple ones at the same time. Then you see here, that one has a 810 wavelength, and again, plugs in right there. So you can achieve the 10 hertz, 40 hertz, or 0 hertz. I think I've got all the information I need, and I'm about to get started. I'm getting closer to using this. I have spent extended times in the hospital, and I know this kind of looks like I have some type of, I don't know, IV or feeding tube in my nose, but that is not what's happening. Already got all my parameters set up there. Just a moment, it will start. Okay, I've got it all started there, blinking. So the nose thing is set to run at 25 minutes. You can't change that. I've never done this. I'll just push this button here. You're not really supposed to be looking at science. There does seem to be, there's something going on there. That is not the helmet I have. They make their own. I have a WeberBrain Pro helmet, but you can see this gentleman here is also doing both of these devices simultaneously. So yes, I didn't just imagine that this is how photobiomodulation works. It's kind of comforting to have this light here. There's light you cannot see also. There's 3 different wavelengths, and one is near infrared, and you would not be able to see that. But to be able to see that is comforting. But whatever light this has is in my nostril, and obviously if I take it out, then I'm getting less benefit. Like when I use these laser devices, I tend to feel like a nicotine rush type of feeling. If you've ever done snooze or Zyn or any type of, not smoking, but some type of chewing tobacco, you get this buzz. And I get that feeling with these laser devices too. And I do feel that a little more intensely. Again, I don't have EEG hooked up to my head, so that could be psychosomatic. So you can see these lighting up. My nose looks like a little Christmas tree because these are light wavelengths that you can see with the human eye. The 810 nanometer wavelength is actually a near infrared wavelength. So the applicator itself has a little light just to tell you it's on, but you can't see that light. And for that reason, it's also important not to stare into that laser for anything more than a few seconds, because that could damage your eye. It's going in my nose. It's not going to damage my eye. Just going to sit back for 25 minutes and enjoy the benefits of intranasal photobiomodulation. All right. I never thought I'd see the day when I'm doing things like this to improve my cognitive health. But here we are. A little like Rudolph a red-nosed reindeer, but he could fly around the world delivering gifts, so maybe this will benefit me too.
This is the San Francisco Ferry building. There's a lot of quaint little shops here. Upstairs, there's actually office buildings, and I used to work financial software for, I don't know, maybe almost 5 years. Really nice views in those offices here. See, true to its name, there are ferries at the Ferry building that go to various points. Bay Bridge there, I don't know if you can see it. Koi Tower in the distance. Transamerica building peeking out there. And that's the largest building, a Salesforce building. So particularly good seeing the U.S. flag in San Francisco for some reason. Always like to see it, but there's something about seeing it in San Francisco. It's just very patriotic feeling. Wife, naturalized U.S. citizen, enjoys it too. Here we are, world-class city. I would not want to be on a cruise ship of that size. Just shopping mall of the sea is not for me.
Alcatraz right here. I've done that before. It was actually a chilling experience, more than I expected. It's behind that boat. You can't see it right now. It's a rock. Sean Connery was once a prisoner, but he escaped with the help of Nicolas Cage. Some people have actually swam across this. No prisoners that I know of made it, though some have escaped and never were caught. They probably did survive. A chowder joint. Bit of a touristy thing, but pretty good nevertheless. Classic streetcar. Getting close to the marina. Golden Gate Bridge. Ghirardelli Square. There it is over yonder. Favorite part of San Francisco. Try to zoom in a little. You can kind of see it in fog. Most beautiful bridge in the world. The Ghirardelli Square and the Ghirardelli chocolate and ice cream, world famous. Full Ghirardelli chocolate experience. Little squares for very many delicious varieties. Get ice cream too over there. This Dubai style chocolate, in my opinion, is overrated. I just really wasn't into it. This little delight, $16. Wendy's Lombard Street. All right, there we go. Way it goes. So Swensen's is very, very popular in Thailand. A lot of people don't know that actually originally from San Francisco, and this little shop right here at the corner is the original, very first Swensen's. I assume they had more in America, but now it seems there are very few. This is the first and the last man standing, I think, in America. I don't know why, but Chinatowns have always felt American to me. You go to some cities and it doesn't feel like America. It feels like a little foreign town, but Chinatown feels very American. The Chinese, they literally built half of this city. They were here from the very beginning. Let her climb up that hill. Can do it. Where I used to live on Bush Street, that gray building right there. And as far as the end right there, the gray building. Yeah, those were some good times. At the end points for the cable cars, they actually have a little circle thing where they can spin them around. You can see there's a circle, and then two guys can actually spin it and point it the other way if needed. Back to the East Bay. My San Francisco journey ends here. It's getting quite elaborate here. Some of these pads and those things up here are to push the lasers a little closer to my head. I know it looks kind of funny, and I've tried to do it in a way so the heat can still dissipate. And then this is my intranasal laser device, and I've set this up so this is actually pulsing at 40 hertz, and you can see the light on my forehead is also pulsing. So let's take that in, that quick flashing there. That's the way that Vielight indicates that their ink might be using is pulsing at a given rate. And then finally to this binaural beats, that 40 hertz. I don't know if that helps or not, but again, hurt. I'm actually going to be adding some different medications. I'll get into that when I get back to America. I'm only here for a couple more days. You can see there I've used Gemini to make a photobiomodulation schedule for myself. And then over to the right, I've added the Vielight intranasal device. And you can see there's different wavelengths. They don't have the 1064, but some of them do happen to flash at different frequencies that sync up with mine. So if you look closely there, I'll try to get this to focus. Okay. So you can see I'm using 655 and 810. And this 810, that is the only one that has the flashing frequency that is in sync with that. The gray one right there, that one is the only one that pulses. It's a near infrared light, so you can't see it. The rest are just continuous 0 hertz. Let's get a little look in the back here. I'll do my best. See, I've got 4 of these little pads placed. They're original for car washing, but they work just fine to enhance laser placement around the skull. And just to be clear, you can see these are actually pushing the laser a little closer to my head. This is working fine for me. This is not recommended by the manufacturer, but my own personal adjustment. Let's close our eyes, relax. Feel the power.